The post page, or single.php, is the template used by WordPress to display a single blog entry. So let's go ahead and create that file. Now, if we go to one of these posts and we click on the image, it takes us to that post's page. You can see in the link here. But the layout is very similar to the one from the index page, right? So we have to create a page that's specific for displaying a single post. So that means a slightly different layout. Now, since Corey did not provide one, we will create our own. Let's start by creating, or actually by duplicating the index page here. That should be easier. We'll call it single.php. Now, if you don't know about WordPress hierarchy and the way it works, basically it goes like this. If you go to the single post page here, WordPress will look for single.php. If it can't find single.php, it's going to search for index.php. And if it finds it, it's going to use that template. So by doing a different single.php page, we make sure that for the single post pages, we have a different layout. Now here, we're just going to say the single post template file. And then we're loading the header. We're loading the footer. But in between, we're going to change things up a little bit. We'll start with the WordPress loop, this one right here. So if we have posts, then while we have posts, we're going to display the post. Else, well, we can just simply display something like an error message like this. But if we do have posts, we're going to start with a content very similar to this. So we have a Jumbotron here. We're going to copy the Jumbotron. We have the row. And then we have the title in the H1, the title. We don't need this lead paragraph here. And call row Jumbotron here. And then in the same container, actually, we'll do another Jumbotron. This is going to be for the post image. So we have Jumbotron row. And then we'll go to content PHP and we'll grab this bit here. So if we have a post thumbnail, we don't actually need the anchor tag because we're in the single page. The image doesn't lead anywhere. We just have the post thumbnail in full, and we do the IMG responsive and also center block. And this is a class that can be applied to images to center them. Okay, we end the row, the Jumbotron, and the container field here. The container fluid, sorry. And then we'll do this content. So we have a div class single post container fluid row, and then call SM8. Basically, we're offsetting this content by 2 columns just to give it a little bit of margin on the left and right. And then we're using the same markup as for the post content. Post excerpt with the header. We get the post meta, see where this function comes in handy, and then we'll just output the content. And what this will do is it will turn a single post page into this, the big title here, the image, and then the post meta and the content. And this is all that we need, basically. Now, notice here there is a small thing we got to do in the home here, or actually let's just go to the index. Notice there is quite a bit of space between the end of this content and the footer, while on the single post page there is less content there. So what we need to do is we need to open the style.css, and we need to look for filterable portfolio. which is this one here, and simply add the single post class that we defined. So that will essentially add some extra space here. All right, so that is the single post page. We're getting really close to having a complete WordPress theme. There are just a few more custom things we need to create, and the first one is a custom widget for recent projects. That's coming up next.